Hello, welcome to the Mediocre Takes podcast, the podcast where we share our mediocre takes on the shows and movies we watch. I'm Marco and here with my co-host Mal. How are you doing, Mal?
I fixed my keyboard.
You did?
I did!
Today we are continuing our Batman animated movie retrospective, I guess, / marathon for the first 9 movies, I believe. Today we are doing Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, which I really liked and Mal really did not like, so well, I guess we'll just have to get into it.
Okay, so before we get into the movie, we must discuss the cartoon Batman Beyond. It's a continuation of Batman the Animated Series, and I wish it wasn't for personal reasons. In the show, we're introduced to Neo Gotham, which is just a future Gotham, and a retired Bruce Wayne. After the mysterious death of Terry's father and finding the Batcave, Bruce allows him to take up the mantle of the Batman. This film is a continuation of the show and was actually released direct to DVD, of course, during the 3rd season. This film is pretty tied to the show. There's a lot of references. Some, like splicing, aren't as important, but the origins of the new Batman are pretty important. It's mentioned once in the movie, but personally, that wasn't enough. So I'd say if you want to watch the movie and really understand everything that's going on, especially with both the new and old characters during this time, I would advise watching at least the first season of Batman Beyond. And I'd even argue you should watch the animated series as well. In the film, the Joker is back, but that shouldn't be possible. Terry, the new Batman, finds out the original Joker was killed by Tim Drake. In a cruel twist of events, it's revealed that Joker is just a chip attached to Tim, using him to do his deeds. But in the end, he is defeated.
So I think I'll love Batman Beyond the TV show because I love the futuristic look of the movie. I have watched the movie when I was a little kid, but I haven't watched it in a long time. So I literally do not remember anything except for Tim Drake getting tortured and everything. That really stuck in my head for some reason. And I remember the way like the Joker died. So yeah, that was the only thing I remembered about this movie.
Did you know that there was actually 2 different versions of that scene? One of them was a different version where he wasn't shot because of the
Yeah.
Columbine.
Yeah, I was gonna say I watched the uncut version where he got shot. Which version did you watch?
The one where he got shot.
I was gonna also mention it in my notes, but I was gonna say I honestly prefer the uncut version. It just looks way better and everything. And I liked how uncensored it was and how serious it seemed. So is the second Robin Tim Drake? Third Robin? Who's the second Robin?
Jason Todd.
Wait, I'm
Jason
confused.
Todd. Okay, here's one of the issues
Is that
I
the one
have.
who dies?
Yes, he's the one who dies because of Joker.
Okay, so the one that we're talking about now is Tim Drake. So in this timeline, what happens to Jason Todd?
The animated series continued comic explain what happened to Jason Todd. He dies because of Joker, and then he becomes Red Hood.
Now that I know that this movie doesn't really make that much sense, I still like it anyways. But I think you have proven your point because if this is a continuation of that, that wouldn't really make sense. I guess that's a continuity error basically, but I still like this movie. Okay. Yeah, I really like the backstory of Tim Drake and what happened between him and the Joker. I really loved how scared Batman and Batgirl seemed when he went missing. I really loved that Tim ended up killing the Joker. Like that was such an unexpected scene, and I really loved it. I don't like that instead of making the Joker a new Joker, they just use the same Joker, but it's just a chip put on Tim Drake. Like that's a bit too sci-fi for me. Like this is Batman. It's superheroes. Come on. So yeah, I don't know. I just had mixed feelings about that. Oh, okay. So I didn't realize this, but I thought they killed off Harley Quinn. But eventually, I found out at the ending we do see Harley, and I guess she's the grandmother of those twins.
And how do we feel about that, Marco?
I actually don't really mind it. So the twins, I think, are okay. I mean, they're literally just Harley copycats, so I mean it's fine by my eyes. I'm not sure how I feel about Harley. I kind of like that she survived. That's kind of slay of her. But yeah,
They turned her
why?
into a grandma, Marco.
What,
They
she
turned her into a
aged?
they turned her into a grandma. Whatever. Whatever. They turned into a boring fucking grandma. After
Yeah.
everything, she's just some boring old grandma. Like, not even an exciting grandma. She's a boring old grandma.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
irritating.
it'd be nice if she actually like tried to do something to get revenge or something like that. I don't know. That would have been an interesting plot line. So speaking of like overly sci-fi topics, I kind of don't like that there's just a giant laser beam from space. Like they kind of just come up with a better idea for what the Joker was doing other than just laser beam from space. Like was that all Joker's plan was? Like no. Come up with something better, Joker. I do not like the new Batman's laugh. This is kind of dumb, but like something about his laugh is just very strange. And I'm talking about that scene where he's making fun of the Joker and like telling him that the only reason he's hooked on the Batman is because the Batman never showed any like attention to him or like said anything to him or like barely talked to him at all. All he did was fight him, I guess. His laugh was strange.
How did you think about the new Batman's voice in general?
I think it was okay. I like it better than his design, to be honest.
I feel like he was straining.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't know. He was trying to make his voice lower. So I watched a season and a half of Batman Beyond, and I feel like his Batman voice in that show wasn't as deep as it was in this one. It just felt a little unnatural for his voice. And also, the way that they explain the new character design is that in the show, the last scene we get of Bruce Wayne being Batman is him in his new suit.
Wait, I forgot about this, but isn't this canon that he's basically like connected to Bruce Wayne in some way, like blood related?
We find out in a crossover episode with the
Yeah,
Justice
yeah.
League, Bruce Wayne is his dad.
Yes, exactly. I forgot about that. I was like, wait a minute. I'm just realizing something.
Do you know how fucking stupid that is? Whatever. Whatever. I'm over it.
Anyways, what were you talking about?
The way they introduced the new suit is that Bruce Wayne was getting old, but he was still fighting. And the reason the suit is so advanced was because he had to compensate for his old body. And that was the suit he created. It does scream like late 90s, early 2000s. So I get the new look of the design, but I agree it is a little wonky.
Oh, I was talking about his character, not the suit design. I actually like the
Oh,
suit design.
ooh.
What? I like how
I
sleek
don't
it
know.
is.
I miss the cape. I like
What's
the
that
ears
one?
though.
Oh, I do like the ears. What's that one Invincible character? No capes.
Incredibles?
Yeah, that's what you reminded me of. The no capes girl, lady, person.
Edna Mode.
I
Put
don't
respect
know.
on her
I don't
name.
know Invincibles, Incredibles.
Incredible, The Incredibles.
How do you feel about the Joker's design, the new one?
I feel empty. That's how I feel. I guess it makes sense given how they made, the new Batman suit sleeker. They
Hmm.
made the Joker sleeker. So whatever.
I think it's okay. I don't think it's the best. I like his like jacket that he had.
He's literally just in like a leather suit.
Yeah, I
Like it's
know.
literally just a leather one piece.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I like his like purple jacket and like button up thing they had with the purple pants and everything. It looks way better on him. Okay, so I was curious about this. When in the timeline does Barbara get her legs paralyzed? I noticed that she wasn't in a wheelchair yet.
So I'm guessing this never happens in this universe, which is really fucking annoying because I would rather I just feel like it makes sense for Barbara Gordon's character. I understand that her dad is literally Commissioner Gordon, but I feel like it'd make more sense for her to continue to be the Oracle, which is who she becomes after she becomes paralyzed, she becomes Oracle. I would rather like she can either continue to become the Oracle or be semi-retired, but also occasionally help out with Bruce Wayne and Terry. I feel like that would make so much more sense for her character than for her to become a, a commissioner. But anyway, no, she doesn't become paralyzed in this universe.
Okay, so I know you don't disagree with me about this, but I actually enjoyed the new Batman. I think he's a decent character. I like how he makes fun of the Joker, and how he treats the Joker differently from Bruce Wayne.
That was actually the one thing I did like about this movie was how he dissected the Joker and got under his skin. That was really interesting to watch. But I also think overall I just didn't like the Joker in this. This was like the one scene where I was like, "Oh, that was pretty cool."
You didn't like when the Joker. You didn't like the backflash of the Joker. I feel like that was a. I feel like that was one of the.
No.
Well, I don't know. I haven't watched that many Joker scenes, but I feel like that was a really good Joker scene.
I just didn't like him in this.
Oh, okay. You mean the back? backflash.
The flashback?
Yeah.
You're such a silly goose sometimes.
Dang, I can't make my words correct today. Yes, the flashback. How did you feel about the flashback of Joker
um,
in that scene?
I hated it because I hated the storyline for Tim Drake in this. Mostly because it's very reminiscent of Jason Todd's storyline. Like, I understand that compared to the Robins, Tim is a bit square, but like, he didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve this timeline. I really hated it. And like Joker, like I said before, Joker, he'll throw hands with anyone. I'm not surprised that he abused a child. So like that makes sense. But I just didn't like that it was Tim Drake.
Okay, so I was kind of unaware of this, but apparently in the TV show, when I forgot the new Batman's name, but when new Batman, before he becomes Batman, when his parents like die or something like that, there are like ha 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 graffiti all over the place, and it was kind of reminiscent to what happened in the movie, where when the break in happens in the Batcave, there's a bunch of ha 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 graffiti. So I was kind of wondering what that was about.
Yeah, so I think that's like the first episode. Basically, his dad gets a hold of information he shouldn't have, and the guy tracks him down and kills his father, and then stages it to make it look like it was the Joker's gang, which is like a thing. But yeah, that's literally all it is.
I don't know why you have a problem with the Joker's gang, because like Joker gangs have existed before. I don't know.
I'm not saying I have. When did I say I have an issue with that?
You sounded like you had an issue with that.
I have an
You're like
issue with
that
this
exists.
thing as a whole.
Okay, if you say so.
The fight scene between Dee Dee and Batman was kind of slay. It reminded me so much of the last scene in the movie Death Proof. The animation, it was good. It was solid. It was smooth. This is just a personal issue, but I don't know why we stopped showing the credits at the beginning of movies. Because that removes the time it takes for me to look up who's the voice actor when I hear a familiar voice. I absolutely loved what they did with the colors during the club scenes. That's also something they do in the show. How they made the background characters the same color, and then the main characters in the scene a different color. Yeah, I I hated the twist. A Robin kills the Joker and then becomes a Joker. Are you kidding me? Maybe it's because I'm not too fond of this show, but that shit sucked ass.
The main problem for me was the fact that it was a chip, like a little chip that was in his back, and you could just easily take it off. Like that was so dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the irony of the Joker inhabiting the body of a past Robin, but he also chose like a 50-year-old, you know? Like, why did he choose an old man? I don't know. It was just so fucking stupid.
To be fair, he was a little kid at the time.
Well, yeah, but then no, but then he was straight up like, "Yes, I will be inhabiting this body. Like, I'll be taking over this body." And it's like, okay, yeah, you like were on his body for like most of his life, but now you have a chance to maybe like move yourself into somebody else's body, a younger body. You know what would have been so much more interesting is if he tried to chip Batman. Do you know how much cooler that would have been?
You know what I would have liked if he made like an army of himself. That would have been. I don't know how you would feel about that, but that would sound really cool to me. Like that's where I thought this was going. Like I thought he was gonna make an army of himself or something.
Ooh, if he made like sleeper jokers and then all at
Yeah.
once he like activated himself.
Hmm.
Would have been better than whatever this was.
Overall, I think this is a pretty decent movie. I like the new Batman's design. I still like the twins for some reason. They're just, I don't know. I think they're okay, I
Well,
guess.
yeah, 'cause they're descendants of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, probably. I genuinely liked the flashback. I almost said backflash again. I genuinely like the flashback of Robin and Joker and what happened between them, including Harley Quinn. I personally think it was a really great scene. I haven't watched that many Joker scenes, but I think it's one of the better Joker scenes I've watched so far.
This movie just felt like a nothing burger. It was literally just a Batman Beyond 1 hour special episode. I have a list of problems with the show. One of them being, by the way, Marco, they made Barbara Gordon and Bruce Wayne a thing. Like in the show, it's literally confirmed that they fucked. So think about that, Marco. And the whole conflict of the movie just felt so lame to me. It felt like they were trying to be poetic with it, but it borrowed way too much from the pretty prolific storyline in the Batman universe, which made this whole story fall apart for me. It just was pretty disappointing for a Batman film.
Wait, so who's Batwoman?
Batwoman is Batman's cousin. What's her
Huh.
name? Lois Lane? No, not Lois Lane. um,
Not Lois Lane.
Kate Kane. It's Kate Kane. Sorry, not Lois Lane. It's Kate Kane, cousin
I
of
have
Bruce
never
Wayne.
heard of her. Anyways,
Okay. Well,
um,
she's a lesbian.
oh, cool. Anyway, is that your headcanon?
No, she's an actual lesbian.
Is that your headcanon?
No, she's an actual literal lesbian that served in the
Okay,
army.
really?
Yeah. She got kicked out for being gay.
This
That's like her whole thing.
really?
Yeah.
Now I want to know more about her. Anyways, Mel, I have a question for you. We've been doing this for the last 2 episodes, but I was going to ask you if you had to predict where on the rankings this Batman film would go, with the rankings being S, A, B, C, D, or F, where would you put it?
I'd put this on D. Yeah.
Personally, I feel like this is better than Sub-Zero, so I'd put it on A.
Okay. Okay. Wow, A. Okay. I also I should say I found out literally maybe an hour before recording that apparently people love Batman Beyond, which is so insane in the membrane, but you do you, I guess. Okay.
I will do me. You're
You're gonna
welcome.
do yourself? What are you, gay?
Done.
Okay, I'm sorry for that, truly. The return of the Joker may not have received a warm welcome from me, but both our arms are open wide for the return of the Mediocre Minute. This is a tiny little micro moment where me and Marco recommend books, comics, music, games, and more for you all to enjoy before coming back tomorrow for another Batman related episode. I guess I'm a fake fan because I had no idea there was a comic that was being released alongside Batman the Animated Series, which is funny because I literally recommended Batman the Adventure Continues. So today I am righting my wrongs and recommending the comic The Batman Adventures. It takes place in the animated universe and I am really enjoying it so far, which is interesting because I usually don't like how this era of comics look. I think it has a lot to do with the color palette, but this series gets away with it because I love the style of it, and it's better than Batman Beyond. Marco, what's your recommendation?
So my recommendation is a novel series called The Saint's Magic Power. It's Omnipotent. This is a cozy fantasy series. It's basically about this girl who is the saint, and the saint is this magical being who like basically destroys evil like fog, I guess. It's called Miasma, but it's about her literally just doing her thing. She just wants to live a normal life, so she starts off by brewing potions, and then eventually she starts learning magic, and it ends up becoming her that is the saint. And it's about her and her romance as well. It's very light. I will say this is kind of bad writing, but I personally do not care. But it's because I just want my cozy feelings, I guess. So yeah, if you're looking for a really cozy time, I recommend this. It's decently good. There has been nothing problematic about it so far, and I'm saying so far because I haven't finished the series yet. So yeah. Anyways, you guys, that's our thoughts on Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. If you want to send us a voice message on Spotify for podcasters, I'll be linked in the description below. Also Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, which are @MyTakeSpot, and that's everything. So goodbye.